The Morning Show from your local news leader.
It's time for Friday Flicks. The newest epic in the DC universe and a drama about two brothers are available for viewing this weekend.
And so we have the privilege, as always, on Fridays to be joined by Chuck Koplinski, our film critic. He is here to review Black Adam and Ticket to Paradise. And Chuck, I just want to say our morning show producers have seen Black Adam.
Yes.
They want to hear your review,
Yes,
though.
they were kind of giving me their take on it, and I have to say they are correct. Black Adam stinks.
Oh.
And I hate to say that because I grew up reading DC Comics. There's a lot of potential with this character, and this character does have a great backstory, which they completely botch. And you know what's funny is that Dwayne Johnson is probably one of our most charismatic movie stars. One of the reasons being is that in most of his movies, he kind of pokes fun at himself. This one here, though, he is completely serious throughout. There is no humor at all in this movie from him, and the attempts at humor by the other characters, well, they fall flat. And there you see Black Adam being woken up from a 1,000-year nap, and he is not happy about this. He needs some coffee. He is a threat, and right away, the American government calls in the Justice Society, who you'll see in a minute, to go and pay Black Adam a visit. They realize that this guy is out of control and needs to be contained. There's the Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. He'll show up in his cool uniform pretty soon. And there you have Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, and you have two other characters, Cyclone and the Atom Smasher. And boy, wouldn't you love Get Out like that in your lawn? Just kind of open up and there's a big plane. You know, I'm talking like this because there's no story here. There's a crown thing that everyone's after, and the Justice Society underestimates Black Adam, and he blows stuff up, and he breaks stuff, and he blows stuff, and he just, this thing is a mess. You know, there are certain movies that entertain you, and there are certain movies that bludgeon you to death, and this is one of them. You've got to stop every once in a while with the action. You've got to stop and give us some characterization. You've got to stop and give us a story that we can actually be invested in. Here's the biggest problem with this film, or here's a telltale sign that you're in trouble. The scene that happens during the credits is the best scene in the movie.
Oh,
They already gave it away.
Yeah, so it sets things up for future appearances from Black Adam that have great potential, and that's the other irritating thing about this movie. It had great potential, had some good characters, but completely botched the story. So very disappointing to report that Black Adam skipped this one.
Now, apart from the storyline there, I'm curious to know what you thought about The Rock's performance himself as the character.
Well, you know, 90% of his performance is his physical appearance, you know. And I don't mean to discount him. I like him. I think he's a very good actor, especially when you consider his background and where he came from. Like I say, he's got that charisma that makes a movie star. But it's a one-note performance. I'm mad. That's all it is.
And I'm buff.
And I'm buff. So yeah, there you go.
And this came out in theaters today, right?
Yes, it's out in theaters. You got to go and pay the big bucks to see this one.
All right, and let's get to Ticket to Paradise.
Ticket to Paradise. It's a little better. I think you've heard me use the phrase meatloaf movies on this movie.
I
show.
haven't.
Yeah,
What is a meatloaf movie?
Meatloaf movie is, you know, sometimes you don't want a steak, you just want a piece of meatloaf. Okay, and you want a piece of meatloaf because you know what you're going to get. Okay, you want those expectations fulfilled. You just want a nice piece of meatloaf, some mashed potatoes, and you go. You know, it's comfort food. That's what Ticket to Paradise is. It's a meatloaf movie. You know exactly what you're going to get. A rom-com in which there are really no consequences at play. You know how this is going to end, and it's all dependent on the personalities at play as far as whether you're going to enjoy this or not. And there you see George Clooney and Julia Roberts as David and Georgia. They are bitter exes. They were married 5 years. It's been 15 years since their divorce, and they have united to go and save their daughter Lily, played by Caitlin Dever, from making what they feel will be the greatest mistake of her life. She's just left law school, and she's fallen in love with a seaweed farmer in Bali and is going to get married. Well, they've got to put a stop to this. And of course, they've got to get over there. They are harvesting seaweed. They've got to get over their past animosities in order to unite, in order to save their daughter. Well, of course, we know that they eventually will be reunited. And this movie is all about awkward situations, basically, and that's when a lot of good comedy occurs. And these two, well, you know, there's a reason they've been on the A-list in Hollywood for over 30 years. We like them. They are charismatic. They're very good at what they do. And the scenes that they are with together, They are fun. Now, poor George got attacked by a dolphin. That should be a sign that we need to go home. It's that kind of stuff. You're being attacked by a dolphin. Robert's young fiancée shows up at the wrong time. They end up, of course, in bed together and can't remember what they did. Again, there are no surprises, but I laughed a few times. It sure is a pretty movie to look at. I can tell everyone had a good time. So, you know, it's a disposable entertainment, but if you're looking for something like that, give Ticket to Paradise a try. It, too, is in theaters.
All right, you kind of get what you get there, exactly what you expected.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for being here, Chuck.
You bet.